Hello, everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and a doctoral student of psychology. Today we're going to go over how women show interest without words. All of the research that I will be using for this video will be in the description box. I understand that not all of them may be accessible to everybody. I tried, but I also pick research that I think is helpful. And part of this video is that even if it's not accessible for you, I can still share with you my findings of it, or what I read and what I understood. Okay, the very first one is, I think, pretty obvious, but some people might not realize it, or they may deny it. If a woman is showing reasons to be near you, if a woman is trying to sit next to you, especially if she has other choices other than sitting close to you, but she still chooses that spot to sit next to you, that can definitely be a sign that she's showing interest. That's not always the case, but that one is pretty obvious because a lot of people, especially if you're a stranger, or you guys don't know each other, or you guys know each other very little, she's probably going to either want to sit by herself if there are other available seats, or sometimes what a lot of ladies might do is they might rather sit with someone who's the same gender as them, so a female rather than a male. And if you're a male and she wants to sit next to you there, that's a good sign that there's some sort of interest towards you. The next one is actually more like, if you guys are having a conversation, or if you're talking, you might notice that she's actually more animated. Her expression is more animated. It's more expressive, but it's also more positive. It looks more positive. Sometimes it's because she can't actually help herself but feel more positive or open when she's attracted to you or showing interest in you. And this is actually subconscious, because a lot of times subconsciously, not just psychologically, but also biologically, which I won't speak too much because that's not what I'm studying. A lot of times these types of subconscious signals creates a sense of safety for both individuals, so that the male has more of a comfortable opportunity taking initiative, because it's showing that she's happy. She's not moody or grumpy, to which it's more likely she's going to accept your initiation. That's kind of where it comes from. Now, some of these animated expressions might look like smiling more, nodding more, laughing. Laughing is really common. I know a lot of you guys put that in the comments. You guys know that one. But I still put it in the videos because it's showing up in the research. Laughing during interactions. These are positively associated with self-reported attraction. So that's what I think was really interesting about this research. One was done in 1993, which I really liked. But the other one is 2011. I know some people don't like so old research. I don't care. I actually like some older research. But what it shows is that a lot of women actually self-reported attraction and mention, yeah, I notice I do X, Y, and Z when I'm around a guy that I like or is attracted. And a lot of that was laughing, nodding, and smiling. And they had to reflect on that. So, it's not like they're doing it on purpose, but looking back, they realize, oh, I do that. Emotional expressiveness improves likability beyond physical attractiveness. So, it's kind of their way of trying to appear subconsciously likable to their potential partner, which is you, if you're the person that they're showing that animated expression towards, if that makes sense. The next one is open body language. And a lot of people can see open body language a little bit differently. So, I'm going to explain it. Obviously, you don't want someone curling inward, crossing their arms over their chest. But another form of open body language is if they're angling their body towards you. Now, if you guys are sitting, if their knees or feet toes are pointing towards you, that's a sign that they're more open to receiving whatever conversation you guys are having. Whereas if they're pulled away or withdrawn, or if they're on their phone, you can see that this is a more closed-off body language. The body language is kind of saying, I don't really want to talk to you, right? Or it's, I'm disinterested in what you're saying. And so if that is the case, if it seems they're detached, it could be a couple things. so it doesn't necessarily mean they're not interested. And there are ways that you can test and see, is this because they're interested? If they're not interested. Or if because they don't like what I'm saying. So let's say, for example, you guys are having a conversation about something. That is a more specific topic. Maybe it's about politics or something more specific, finance, economy, I don't know, general interest, whatever it is. And you see that closed body language. If you change the conversation even slightly or completely put it into a different direction, and her body language opens a little bit more, this is a good sign that it doesn't mean her closed body language was because of lack of attraction, but more so that she was possibly uncomfortable with the conversation, and not that you did anything wrong. Sometimes people do that if they feel they don't have much to input about the conversation, if that makes sense. So, she just might feel uncomfortable because she doesn't really know what to say. A lack of knowledge. That can be part of the reason. Okay? Another one is any sort of subtle touch. Even if it's reciprocal, that's also a really good sign. Light, informal touches. Okay. So informal would mean like on the arm or on the shoulder, right? Not like a handshake. These are associated with increased feelings of warmth, trust, and interest. Okay. This research was done in 2007, and this was specifically about female behavior in the effect of touch. This research is really cool. It shows that a lot of women particularly do use touch in a type of courtship compliance. So, it's her saying that your courtship is working is kind of what that means, which I thought was really interesting. I thought that was cool. The next one is more of a more nervous type of behavior. It's actually fidgeting when having discussions with someone they find attractive. So with someone, or it could be we can angle it a little bit. We can say having a discussion about somebody they find attractive. This can be fidgeting with, like a purse charm. A lot of my bags, I have like a charm on them. Fidgeting with that. That's really common. Fidgeting with a clothing. Oh, and this thing got untied. Clothing like, what would I even say? Oh, jewelry. Jewelry is a really common one. Necklaces are a really common one. Yes. So fidgeting is a common one. It will be like any sort of jewelry. Purse charms. It could be like an item on a desk. I've seen some people like flip through paperwork. I've seen that before too if there's like a notebook in front of them. So, any sort of fidgeting can show attraction towards someone. Okay. The next one is actually if it's not having a conversation with you, but it's a conversation about you. Okay? If you are being talked about, you can see this person become more excited about converse, like talking about you, maybe acting as if they know you really well. So talking a lot about your specific interest or whatever it is. Talking a lot about you in general. So even in passing or with other friends or whatever, your name is brought up a lot to them. They talk about you a lot because you're on their mind a lot. This is really, really common. But I know that you guys might not know it because you're not there. But I am telling you, if you hear about it in passing that someone is talking about you or just always bringing you up, that's just one of the biggest signs that a woman is interested in you, right? She's talking about you to her friends, but not even just her friends. Maybe you guys have a similar friend group or you guys are co-workers or something along that line, and she's always talking about you or bringing you up in conversations or talking about things she knows specifically about you, even though you didn't mean it in that way when you shared it to her. She took it as a sign that you guys are more than just friends. Maybe there's some sort of interest in there. And so she talks about, in that regard, this is a sign that she likes you. Okay? And the next one is any sort of behavioral, mimicking or mirroring, right? She mirrors your body language and gestures. This usually shows that she's very in tune with the conversation you guys are having. She's really attached to what's going on in that conversation. She really is engaged with what you're saying. And people show their interest through engagement, even if they don't mean to. And so she mirrors your body language because it's almost like in her mind right now. She's not really thinking about anything but the conversation you guys are having or the connection you guys have in this moment. Which is why her body language, maybe even her talking speech, is really connected with what you're doing, because she's not paying attention to anything else, if that makes sense. I hope this video was helpful to somebody. Please like, subscribe. I will see you in the next one.